Archie Bunker's grandson. So this was a product that existed in the 1970s as a tie-in to the very popular TV show about America's favorite cuddly racist, the cantankerous old Archie Bunker, who a nation fell in love with because of the fine writing and fine performance by Carroll O'Connor. I just came back from a long weekend in Richmond, Virginia. We had a lot of fun, and one of the things we did was I hung out with Jose. We went to the best department store location. It's a church now, and Jose gave me this as a present, so I wanted to show you this. Got some other stuff from some other people. We're gonna look at everything I brought back, and I'll tell you a bunch of stories. This will be a lot of fun. I promise this will be fun. I demand that you stay tuned. Look, I shaved for this. All right, Joey Stivic, Archie Bunker's grandson. So this was the child, the spawn of Meathead and Gloria. Hey, Gloria, why you with the Meathead? This was any little girl would want this doll. It's an anatomically correct doll. We're gonna take a look. They really pushed that. Yes, this doll is precisionally anatomically correct. Known Jose for years. He said he saw this in a thrift shop and knew I needed it, and he's right. I do not have one of these, so now I do, and it's always been one of those. Miss the spot shaving. Always been one of those quirky, weird items that I always thought would be cool to have. All right, so we got. Looks like maybe evidence. This looks like parchment paper. This looks like the Declaration of Independence would be written on this. It does not look like it's been chewed on. A lot of times you think, oh, that's been chewed on, but because there's holes that wear all the way through, this is just old and worn. But this is the instruction sheet. Tells you how to diaper up Archie Bunker's grandson. We pulled this out we didn't pull out. I know it's anatomically correct. What I'm talking about pulling out was this product. We pulled it out and looked at it in the parking lot of the Waffle House. That's where Jose gave me this. So we went to the best, then we went to the Waffle House. You can see it all in the video. I love the Waffle House chili, by the way. I'm telling you, I don't ever get a waffle there. It could be the chili house. I'd be just as happy. 1978. Joey Stivic is a baby boy, and just like all babies, he belongs with a family. He is a delightful, charming baby with a handsome face and a winning smile. He's the closest thing to a baby brother that a little girl could have, but like all babies, he too needs special care and attention. So here we go. He is here. He's got all his stuff. I'm gonna undo this. I hate to open up something that's been sealed like this, but we gotta take a closer look. So they've got a plastic bag here to protect his hair, which is just gorgeous, but you can still breathe. Got room for him to breathe. You'd put his bottle through there. It says you burp him, but there's nothing like that. But there's nothing for the burping. Now he does have a butt, and here's the thing. So when he drinks, he's anatomically correct. So he's got all the parts that a little baby should. I'm gonna take this off. I don't want him in a plastic bag. Somebody tied that knot in 1978. I hate to untie it, but I gotta do it. Can't leave him in a plastic bag. All right, so here we are. Finally, you are free. You are free, young Joey Stivic. Very glossy and shiny, kind of a sticky, plasticky, like some kind of residue that is leached out of the product, but he's in mostly beautiful shape. He's got a beautiful head of hair. So here's like the cardboard insert that he would be laid down on. So we got the original blanket. You could swaddle. You could wrap him up in a blanket, which is good. We got a blanket for him, and then we've got some big honking diapers. You gonna go this big? How am I gonna put him in this? This is an adult diaper? I don't know. Maybe this Meathead's diaper. I mean, it's a little big, but it's gonna fit him. He's got his own diapers here from the 70s. And here is his baby bottle. So here he is. Look at this. Look at this. Yes, you've been in that plastic for so many years. You just wanted this, didn't you? Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Oh man, that's cool. I love this. This is a real throwback to a different era. All right, I got other stuff, but I love this. Thank you, Jose. Here's one of my souvenirs from the weekend. I ate at Mission Barbecue for the very first time and got a free bumper sticker. We went there. I went with Michael and Jessica after we went to that vintage Taco Bell. Vintage Taco Bell is pretty awesome. I gotta tell you, I'm still pretty excited about the vintage Taco Bell. This is a definite throwback. I have not seen a Taco Bell that looks like that for many years. So seeing that in person, sitting on those chairs, that was great. That was a great day. Here is the program for Nightmare Weekend, which shows all of the big names. I'll tell you my interactions with these people. I didn't know a lot of these celebrities, so didn't really... I don't go up and try to talk to people. The one friend I did have though was Andrew Devoff. We were on the same floor of the hotel. I guess I could say now, it doesn't matter, but we were up on the top floor and we ran into each other so many times going in and out of the elevator at night and in the day. I think we rode the elevator together 4 times over the weekend, which is a lot. And so probably after the second time, we both recognized each other, and so we'd say hi to each other a little bit. So he was a very nice man, liked seeing him. So he was in Wishmaster. There's me, by the way. I'm over here. I'm next to Lisa Correo. Now Lisa, I've been friends with Lisa for many years. Lisa has her own YouTube channel. She doesn't watch these. I know we talked about this at one of the panels, but she would enjoy this if were she to have time to watch this. She would enjoy it. But she and I also on the same floor of the hotel, and that was unnerving because we did the Drunk on Disney show on Friday. You can see the video on here. I was wearing a Donald Duck costume. She was dressed as Mike Wazowski. We had a fantastic time, but then at the end of the night, we said, oh, well, we'll walk back. We're in the same hotel. We'll walk back. I was like, I'll walk you to the elevator, whatever. And so we get in the elevator, and then we're both going to the same floor. So we get up to the same floor. We get out, and she's like, oh, which way is your room? I'm like, oh, it's this way. She's like, oh, mine's that way too. So I'm walking her to her door, and we're getting down towards the end of the hall. And my room was the last one at the end of the hall. And I started getting nervous because I like a buffer between me and my friends. I want to be next to a stranger. And thankfully there were a couple rooms, but there was a moment we're walking down, I'm going to be like, well, now every toilet flush I'm going to know. But thankfully there was some other person using the toilet late at night. Did have some loud people in the room across the hall from me. And there were fireworks one night, which woke me up. And I've heard gunshots before in Richmond, so that's why it took me a little, oh look, there's our friend. That's our friend Harley's Love Shack. That's Doris. I didn't even recognize her. She wore this costume too, though, but not open like that. Hers was closed more. But that's Doris. Doris is a cosplayer. She hung out with us. So if you saw the video where we went to the Edgar Allan Poe Museum, and you're like, who was that? There she is. That's her. And of course, Milo was with us. There's Milo Beasley. Usually see Patty. I don't think I saw Patty all weekend. I saw Heather briefly. Love seeing her. Tim Reed, WKRP in Cincinnati. He was the one I was most excited about seeing. He was the first person I saw when I got to my table. He walked right up. He was eating a Danish of some kind. He had a scarf around his neck. He had a lot of style, and I was like, I know who that is. I saw this gentleman a few times. So he was a child when they made E.T. and he didn't have legs. He rode around on this motorized skateboard there. But he was a child when they made E.T. and so he was inside E.T. for the very few shots where they needed somebody inside E.T. I was starstruck to see this gentleman as well as Henry Thomas. I saw Henry Thomas, also saw Dee, but the two boys, seeing those two guys, I didn't speak to either of them, but I was sitting 5 feet across from them at one point at a table, and I was just sitting there being like, oh man, maybe I should. Well, they're having a conversation. I'm going to leave them alone, have their conversation. But there was the 8-year-old part of me that was like, oh my God, the two coolest kids from when I was 8, we're sitting at the table together. So that was very cool to see them. They both look great, by the way. And the other person, I got to hang out with Richard Dreyfuss a little. I get to see Richard Dreyfuss every time, which is amazing because it's Richard Dreyfuss. So here are some of the upcoming shows. I'm at all of these. So if you look at these, if you come to any of these, I know I'm at all of these. I got this from Jessica and Michael. This is a little bee who was in some Donald Duck cartoons, and they gave these away apparently at Flower and Garden. So they had one for me, which I love this kind of stuff. This is like my favorite kind of stuff. And I appreciate that. And then they had a present for me. We went and we saw all their Ninja Turtle stuff, and they had a really cool present for me. I'll show it to you. Look at this. Look at this. Suburban Commando. This is a great poster. So I'm going to have to hang this up. I'll have to show you guys. I have like a movie theater in my house. I'm going to put this up there. So we'll do that. We'll do that one day. But today we've done our share. We've shown off stuff. We've had show and tell. We told some stories. I want to mention, when I went to the Blair Witch Cemetery, there were all those gnats, and I'm so glad they showed up on camera because I thought you guys might think I was losing it, like the Blair Witch was affecting my brain. They show up on camera. They look like huge. Like some of them look like golf balls, but they were all little tiny gnats. I was attacked by gnats when I went to Darlington. So if you ever watched the video I did in Darlington, I went to the Thunder and Carolina movie locations and the Darlington racetrack, and there were gnats everywhere, and those ones were more aggressive. They kept trying to go in my mouth and in my eyeballs. And when I went back to do the edit, anytime I wasn't looking at the camera, anytime the camera was this way, I would hear myself go in between words, and I was like, what is going on with me? And then I watched it, and I'm listening. I'm like, why am I doing that? And then I realized what it was. It was every time a gnat tried to fly in my mouth, I'd go just to push it out, just to blow that gnat away. And so that showed up on camera. All right, I got a picture to show you guys. Take a look at this photo here. So this was inside on the day where I went to the Best Department Store. I also went to a place where Guy Fieri was, and this is from that restaurant. We ate at that restaurant that night. So I was there in the morning, didn't know I was going to be eating there, ate there that night, met a lovely woman that worked there, had a pretty good sandwich. I think it was excellent. I thought it was excellent fried chicken sandwich for what it was. I thought it was great. And I didn't get mac and cheese. Yeah, I got mac and cheese, which I thought was really good. And I got some kind of a highlight cocktail or something that was, just fine. But the woman that worked there showed me on the wall where Guy Fieri had signed it, where they had a image of him. He had signed it and everything. And he had done that when it was called Pops on Grace. New ownership didn't paint over that, which is so cool that they left that in, because it was not from their restaurant. It was from the previous restaurant, but they left it there. I was super happy to see it. I took a picture of it. I told them that my name is Guy, and I have been to some of Guy Fieri's restaurants, and when I went to Chicken Guy, they ask you for your name. They say, what's your name? And I said, my name is Guy, and the guy went like this. And I was like, no, that's my actual name. That's the name my mom gave me. It's, by the way, my grandfather's name was Guido, and so Guy is the Americanized version of that. And so they wanted to name me after my grandfather, but my grandfather thought, no, too Italian, no Guido, so you got to be Guy. So now I get, everywhere I go, I get Guy. Oh, your name is Guy? And I'm like, now they all think I'm French. My grandfather, I didn't get to be named exactly after him. Instead, I'm named after some French guy. All right, well, speaking of guys, this guy has got to go right now. A box is going to pop up here and one over here, and you can choose either one because I'm in both. Got lots of cool stuff coming up. I like this. Might have to break out the Honey Nut Cheerios and eat it with this big. I'll see you tomorrow, 2 o'clock.